Yo, what's good, IT? Today we're gonna analyze why Gen Z stopped going to college. If it was me, I would say that college became a scam. If you had a degree in 1990 in my country, you was the GOAT. But right now, if you got a bachelor's degree, same degree, in 2026, you're a fucktard.
Oh boy, I just got into my dream college. 4 years from now, I'm gonna graduate, get a job, buy a house, retire my parents.
Alright, college.
That's true.
College is something that you're currently in, have been in, or at least considered at some point during your
Facts.
life. It's the first thing that's mentioned right after you graduate high school. Like, everyone's parents and family are pushing their kids to pursue higher education. All the friends you know are going to university. So it kind of feels like a requirement since everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
But fast forward to the recent years, Gen Z's enrollment for college has dropped year after year. My generation of recent graduates are struggling to find jobs. Others are skipping college entirely to work on something else. Overall, people are steering away from that college route that was pretty much a necessity at one point. And I think this correction makes sense because why was it so normal for people to go into $100,000 in debt for school? And why is college so damn expensive? You might think that college is like an institution of education for the better good of the people, but it's run like a business at the end of the day. You're paying money for a product or a service. And a lot of the stuff they do, like casually increasing tuition across the board, is a very businessy thing to do for profit. Over the last 20 years, in-state tuition at public universities almost doubled. And people have no other choice but to pay it because they're already enrolled or because of this social expectation to drown yourself in debt for a degree. People still found it to be worth paying because that diplomas are considered priceless with the amount of opportunities you get from it. But when you look at the actual facts, it's not really that great of a deal. You're spending over $100,000 over the course of 4 years, and in return, you're getting a piece of paper that maybe has value? I mean, I'm not sure anymore. This thing can't even get you a job. Money is a big factor in pretty much everything you do, and making a decision like choosing which college you're going to is a very costly one. In high school, I had a science teacher who liked yapping a lot about his life, and I remember one time he was complaining about his school loans and how he was still paying it off to this day. Keep in mind, this guy was in his 40s, and you'd think that he'd be exaggerating or something, but a quick Google search and you'll find out that it takes the average borrower about 20 years to pay off their student loans. So something I kept in mind about college is the price, and I chose to be a commuter to my local university to save a couple dollars without getting the soul sucked out of me with the housing costs if I were
But the problem with that is once you go to a community university or community college, your degree is not gonna be as valuable as somebody who went to a crazy university. So basically going to a community college, it's basically spending time with your friends. You're not learning that much. Your degree isn't gonna be worth that much. You're not gonna spend that much. You're just going for the sake of going, but what you learn is not gonna help you to keep going.
But it feels like people don't even consider that they may be paying off student loans till they're old and wrinkly because of this social norm. Some people blindly choose the college route, take on $20, $40, $60,000 of loans. Then halfway in, they're like,
oh shit, this isn't even something I want to do in my life.
Then there's the second ultimate.
Yeah, that's the craziest part. To go to college because your parents told you that's where you're gonna go, or your aunties or your uncles. That is the worst thing. Because now you think like, what the hell am I gonna do with this shit, bro? That's when people start living with regret.
Made up. Do I drop out and pursue my passions and leave those 2 years I put into college behind? Or should I stick with the sunk costs and push through? Get myself...
Yeah, that's the craziest part. Once you start, you should finish. Because once you hate it, when you're in the middle, you like, already got a date. I'm already halfway. I can't quit right now. I gotta keep going. That's the scariest part. And that's one thing I avoided.
More in debt and finish that degree because I already paid half of it.
So as it turns out, the student loans that I've been paying $1,500 a month for 2 years have a 17% interest rate. So what I thought I've been paying off for all this time, I'm actually like, I owe more than what I started off with. What the fuck?
The thing is, you can avoid putting yourself in that position if you were to just take a few steps back. Look into other avenues of what you can do with your life.
Streaming. Yo, streaming, there's no money, bro. The one truth about streaming people don't understand, there is no money. This is the most driest business I've ever seen. No one is getting paid unless you're the top, tippy, top. Unless you're that, that's what you get paid. To get to that, it's pain and painful. So people think like, oh, Kaisana is driving a Lamborghini, Adrian Ross just got a private jet. I'm gonna start streaming, no, there's no money. There is no money. Honestly, there's no money for Kaisena to get to the point where he is at today. Kaisena started making skits 2016 and 2015. He was making skits. It turned him to a YouTuber, it turned him to a streamer. And then he blew up. So if you think you're gonna come 1 year and you're gonna be driving Lamborghinis, I'm telling you, you're gonna quit after 2 years. 2 years. You're gonna quit after 2 months, bro. That's why a lot of people start streaming. They buy the setup. They prime all these dope streams. And after they do it once, and no viewers popped off, they do it for 2 months. And still they still haven't got a paycheck. They still even can't average 3 viewers. That's when people quit. And that's when everything changes. So, you guys need to clear this idea from your mind that streaming is money, bro. I understand you may try to stream. I stream every day on Twitch. This is not where the money is right now, bro. Come on.
Life before you make a decision that literally costs $100,000 to $300,000 plus interest. And another issue between Gen Z and going to college is the uncertainty. We all know that 18-year-olds are dumb as fuck. I mean, you might think that you're smart, but then a few years later in your 20s, you look back and get reminded of all the stupid stuff you did when you were a teenager. So when you tell a kid fresh out of high school,
Hey, you're gonna have to decide what you're gonna do for the rest of your life now.
obviously they're not gonna know what to do. And in 2026, telling someone that going to college is gonna make them feel safe and get them a job is a straight up lie. I mean, the college route might have been a success for those in the other generations, but that method got patched right after COVID, gang. Check the 2024 patch notes. We all know the value of the degree has dropped in value. I mean, if you're still 100% sure about the career you want to get into and that field requires a bachelor's degree, by all means go for it. But with the meta changing and everything, it's just too uncertain for the majority of careers and industries. Like the big tech companies are laying.
They used to say, oh, there's certainty. Once you get a degree, you gotta get a job. That's gone. Or there was this idea of once you go to university, you're not gonna struggle in the real world. People can decide to come and start working after high school, start struggling. But you can go to school, learn, get a bachelor's, get a master's. You're gonna come with a job. You're not gonna struggle that much. But G, I don't care whether you go to school. I don't care whether you don't go. You still gotta come. You still gotta feel the pain. Still gonna suffer. Don't let nobody tell you there's no suffering. Everybody suffers. You're gonna suffer finding a job. I seen someone do an interview with people who are graduating. They all say the same thing. I am happy that I finished this part of my life. I'm happy that I just graduated, but I'm worried. It's time to get to the real world because they thought once you go to school, the real world is not gonna have that much problems because you're gonna come with a job which is gonna be already set. You're gonna learn so good, or you maybe gonna go straight up to a master's, and then you start applying for masters. Nobody catching you, nobody accepting you. Now you can start asking yourself a lot of questions like, what did I do wrong? And that's when people start going crazy. That's when people start regretting. They start thinking like, I got this debt, how am I gonna pay it? Maybe I'm speaking for my own bias because I never went. And from what I'm seeing, I don't think I'm going, y'all.
Off their employees time and time again. We've seen people chase the wrong industries and the same jobs, making it competitive. I literally watched the computer science majors in my class crashing down. For those of you who don't know, I was class of 2025, walked the stage in May of 2025, and at the start of college in 2021, the computer science major was the shit. Everyone knows that major is hard, and if you chose it, you get praise, you know? Your friends and family are proud of you, and you're guaranteed to make 6 figures right after you graduate. And 2 years in, while you're in the process of getting your degree, what comes out? AI. And that done nuked the computer science major. And again, you're sacrificing 4
You guys think like AI is gonna completely take the computer science degree job out of the way?
4+ years for that degree. A lot can happen within that time frame. We all know that college is on the old-fashioned end. Like they're still using old textbooks and materials that students gotta pirate online and stuff. College is a little outdated like that. So who knows how the college route is gonna work out for someone like 5-10 years from now. But if Gen Z isn't going to college, what are they doing? Well, a good amount of Gen Zers have decided to go directly into the workforce or go into specialized jobs with trade schools and apprenticeships. The Department of Labor from 2024 reports that even though Gen Z made up only... You guys
remember that song of the FIFA money? I ain't gonna lie, I miss the FIFA money, y'all. Those were my childhood superstars.
18% of the workforce. 18 to 25-year-olds made up nearly 25% of the new hires in skilled trade industries. Gen Z is a lot more comfortable getting into blue-collar work or trade school because number one, it costs way less money and time. Instead of spending upwards of $200,000 or more for university and taking 4 years, the average trade program lasts between 6 months and 2 years, costing $5,000 to $20,000.
Damn.
And during that time, you also get hands-on real work experience instead of sitting there learning in a classroom. Number two, these types of trade schools and apprenticeships aren't as affected by AI because it still requires human labor. Number three, industries like plumbing, electrician, and other skilled trades are actually hiring. Nowadays, there's plenty of alternatives other than the college route. Like there's even online courses that you can take that will teach you specific skills for a job without committing 4 years of your life and your paycheck, which is why I'm partnered up with Course Careers, because they're a platform that helps connect people to in-demand careers. All this off when you watch any free intro course using the link. You'll always get mixed reviews with it either being the best time of their life or just a terrible experience that was a complete waste of time. And I guess my point is to say that it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's no right or wrong answer to whether college is meant for you, but this societal expectation of it being the only pathway for success has to stop. Of course, college still has its benefits, but a lot of people forget to consider the millions of other opportunities they have. There's plenty of other people who dropped out of college and doing 10 times better than they would have if they stayed. Matter of fact, I know a buddy of mine that's actually dropped out of college and is doing pretty well for himself. Let me give him a call.
And yeah, there's a lot of people who also dropped out and they're doing worse. Don't forget about them as well.
Yo, what's up, Rambo?
What's up, bro? How are you?
Good, good. You dropped out of college, right? How many months ago?
I dropped out like 12, 13 months ago.
Okay, perfect. Because I kind of need your insight on something, but let me know your whole thought process and your mindset when it comes to dropping out.
Yeah, well, I will say I was a hard worker when I was in school. I was a full-time STEM student. On top of that, I was in a marketing internship for like this AI company. Then I had my job as a private tutor and I was doing YouTube. At a certain point, I realized I'm working so hard for all of these things and I'm above average for all of them, but I can't excel at any of them. I can't spread myself thin. And I decided YouTube.
How does it feel just like finally being able to put all that energy into that one thing that you're really passionate about?
It feels amazing. And it's not the idea of like being busy. I'm always busy. It's that I'm doing things that I actually care about. So there's a different level of perspective, energy that I carry throughout my day-to-day.
So when it comes to college entirely, how do you think it is when it comes to like just an everyday person, not just your specific situation, just as a whole?
Speaking generally for the average person, college to me is a scam. In the context of many people are incentivized to go to college, they're manipulated to go to college when the real answer is they don't know what they want to do. So why invest so much time, energy, money, effort into something that you're indifferent about? That's why I think college is a scam.
When it comes to people that just are confused or just don't know what to do in life, what do you think would be a better option for them other than college?
Well, if they don't know what to do, the biggest problem is figuring out what to do first. And it is entirely dependent on the resources they have in their day-to-day, what they are available to purchase or consider. So I think that's where people need to start first, is like, where are they in life and what can they do to find out what they want to do?
Okay.
All right, so I don't support anybody going to college. You can do whatever you want to do. But me personally, I don't think that's a good way to go because, like, for right now, I got my little bro. He's going to college right now. And yeah, the first month he went to college, he started learning English, my G. That's crazy. Learning English. Verb to be, verb to see. What the fuck is that? And he's supposed to take that. Because if he doesn't do it, he's gonna have to get a retake. And if he doesn't do the retake, he's gonna have to pay money or he's not gonna be able to graduate. Learning English, brother. Me, I think they should be like, okay, we're gonna start this the next month. Here's a test. If you get 80% or over 80%, you should never be able to learn this. Or you should be like, actually, I don't want to learn this. And the second month, they start learning mathematics. You may think like they learn some crazy mathematics. No. Grade 2 mathematics. They start learning functions. And I was like, bro, you're wasting money and time. So this is the reason why going to college for most people is a scam. They are going there. They're not learning a single thing. They're just simply wasting their time. And I don't support it, bro. And yeah, so here we are. We finished the reactor to the video. My camera is dead. That's the reason why I had to put my handsome face. That's why I be mugging y'all. We outside.